What is up, guys? Today this is a different type of video. We're going over things I regret about college. You know, technically I'm not even finished with college yet, but I'm supposed to be walking in about 2 weeks for my graduation, and I have like 4 credits to do over the summer. So, you know, I guess I'm basically done. Let's get right into it. So the first thing that I regret about college is not working hard enough in my classes. Now, I didn't go to college to impress my teachers for classes like psychology or anatomy. You know, I went to music school, but there are plenty of times in classes that were about guitar or music business where I didn't fully apply myself as much as I wish I did. You know, it's not like I regret everything or like I regret stuff. And I just regret not sitting in the practice room and learning everything super well. You know, I feel like I would be even better than I am now. And I don't even think I'm that good, to be honest. Like, I'm okay. You know, like I do what I do, and I do it well enough to be happy with it. The next thing that I regret is partying too much, but also not partying enough at the same time. Part of me feels like going to college is about having fun, you know, getting drunk, meeting new people, meeting girls, you know, smoking, all that stuff. In my first year of college, all I really looked forward to was, you know, like the weekend. And to be honest, what was fun about that was because I was underage. And when you're underage and you drink, it feels like the most fun thing in the world. As the years went on, I started to like enjoy that type of stuff less and less. I mean, obviously I still love having a beer. I feel like I instead of like going out, meeting new people, I kind of just started to hang out with just a certain close group of friends, which is nothing wrong with that, but I feel like by kind of not going out as much, not partying and drinking towards the end of college as much, part of me feels like I'm missing out on stories, dumb shit like that. Honestly, like, it doesn't really matter. It's probably good that I stayed at most of those nights, but I feel like I could have met more people. I could just have more. I wish I just put myself out there a little more. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say it. And part of it's probably not even my fault, you know, just like I got tired, like life gets in the way, you know. It doesn't matter, like at all. I don't even know why. But you know what I mean. I will say this too. In my first 2 years, and I guess the partying too much phase of my life, a lot of the most fun times I had was during those times. And I was also very blessed that me and my friends, we would play like live shows in basements and all that. And I just remember those nights, you know, getting drunk while still being underage, getting up on the quote unquote stage in the basement of these houses and playing shows. Like, those were the most fun nights I ever had, man. Like, more fun than playing shows in front of like 500 people in these big venues that I do now. So it's like, I don't know, man. Just like, I'm gonna look back on college, and to be honest, like, even though I had fun, I didn't really love it. I kind of like, the more I think about it, I'm like, damn, I kind of hated it. But it's okay. It's just because I was a kid, and I'm still a kid, so I just think it's way more. It's not emphasized how, or at least it wasn't emphasized how like you're in college, but you're still supposed to be an adult at the same time, because it feels like just an extension of childhood. At least in my case it did, because I mean, granted, I'm more privileged probably than a lot of people. I got lucky. I got a scholarship at Berkeley. My parents were supporting me, so like I got lucky. I didn't have to worry about financial stuff, but like I felt like I was just like an extension of my childhood, which I don't think was good for me. I think what would have been the best for me would have been me being forced to be put in the real world for like 1 year and then starting school. It would have put things in perspective, you know. Whatever, you can't go back in time, and who knows, everything happens for a reason. Alright, my next regret is not spending enough time to develop my own brand. Even though I am eternally blessed for everything God or whoever's up there has given me, for example, meeting Nacri, forming the villains and all the songs that we've made, I wish I just spent like 1 hour, at least 1 hour per week doing stuff for this YouTube channel, for my Instagram. But in reality, I was just scared to put myself out there, or really fully commit to putting myself out there because I was scared of being judged. But to be honest, I don't really care anymore. Like, who cares? You guys could see everything I do. Like, I'm an open book at this point, man. Ask me anything, I'll tell you it. Like, who cares? My fourth regret in college is not making enough of an effort to meet new people. Now, when I arrived in Boston, I came here because some of my best friends were already going to college in Boston. For example, my boy Alex, he was at Berkeley and he ended up transferring out to BU. I came to college and I remember I'm chilling with Alex and I meet all of his friends and his friends became my friends. And then on top of that, I had friends who came to Berkeley that I knew from middle school. One of my friends, I went to summer camp with him when I was like 12 years old and we kept in contact for some reason. My boy Dylan. Obviously I made new friends, but I didn't really put as much of an effort to make homies from my classes, all that stuff. And I'll be honest with you, it's harder to make friends in college than you really think it is, especially like real long-lasting friendships. So that's part of why I kind of stuck with who I knew and all that. But I'm lucky enough to have made some good friends just through experiences like studying abroad. I studied abroad in Spain for about 6 months and that was awesome. If you're in college and you have the opportunity to study abroad, that'll change your life, man. Now, my fifth regret about college, and this one really isn't my fault, it's just kind of how society works, is that I wish I started college at the age I'm at now. Now, I'm 22 years old. I started fresh out of high school, 18 years old, and I don't think that's a good idea, because me being 18 years old, going into college, I was an idiot. I didn't know anything. I was immature. I'm still immature right now, so you could only imagine how immature I was back then. I just think that if you're like a dude like me, you're not stupid, but you could be a bit of a knucklehead sometimes. Like, I didn't have a plan. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to study. And I feel like I just wasted time at school because of that. For example, I picked a major that I didn't like. I wasted 2 semesters studying stuff for that major. I just wasn't mature enough to realize all the opportunities that I had. And, now that I'm graduating soon, I still don't feel like I got that much out of the major that I picked, which was professional music at Berkeley, which is kind of like create your own major. Now, if I'd gone back in time, I probably would have studied strictly music production or strictly guitar performance. But you know what? What I ended up doing was guitar performance and music business. So that's not even that bad. I'm happy I got to learn about the music business. Shows me when I'm being ripped off, shows me when I'm not being ripped off, help puts things in perspective. And yeah, my thing is when you go to school, bro, I guess have a plan. And it doesn't need to be like the biggest plan, but have an idea of what you're gonna do. You could change things along the way, but know that like you don't want to be like me sitting here at the end of my time and being like, damn, the time flew by, because it did fly by. You know what I mean? Yeah.